name's Arden and this is Wild Mountain Farm. This morning we're out here cleaning out our little shed slash storage area. It gets really messy in the summertime. We get busy and we kind of just throw things in there, and then this time of year when we have the time we come in and we clear it out and do a good organisation. So it's dry out today, so we're going to take advantage of that so we can pull everything out, put a little bit more gravel down and put everything back. Throw away things we don't need, organise things, so that's the plan anyway. So I'm going to give you a little tour around so you can see the before and the after, because it really is a mess in there. It's a little bit of a mess in here. We've got hay on the floor for the chickens, and then we have kind of all of our random packing and trellising equipment. Luckily the wall still looks fairly clean. We have a whole array of boxes that need organising. So just the general organisation. Luckily it's not a massive space. We'll get through it quickly. My biggest concern is that we don't have a single knife on the wall where they're supposed to hang. So they must have gone missing throughout the year. So we need to find them and hang them back up. But yeah, hopefully this won't take us too long. Barn clearing day! Okay, well everything's pulled out, so it looks worse, even worse now than it did when we started. But now we can rake it out. Actually, I've done a lot of the raking. I don't think we're going to put more gravel in. It's just, gravel's expensive and it looks fine in there. We've leveled it all out, so we're going to start putting everything back in here. But here, let me show you the mess that we have created by pulling everything out, which obviously always looks worse. Kelsey's helping, of course. It always looks worse before it starts getting better, so hopefully anyway. They're for the piping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This we need.
Yeah.
Got this stuff. We'll go use that.
Yeah.
Oh, Arden, here's something.
Don't think we need that.
Sprinkler, can you put that in my irrigation thing?
Up in here, I have a couple more packaging things to put on this shelf behind me here, but we are more or less done. So that's kind of all of our trellising and kind of oddbod stuff. This is all of our packaging, paper bags, plastic bags, paper, stickers. Some of these things will also still live in our other shed, and then we kind of just reorganised the boxes. I went through our storage onions. We just have a couple of trays left for ourselves, but I went through them and chucked out any that were a little soft. So I think that's the job done. So that makes it feel like we're getting ready. It's nice to have a clean slate every year. So I'm filming from a slightly interesting place right now. We're in the bathroom, but I'm not using the bathroom. I'm going to set eggs in my incubator. So over the past week or so, I have been collecting eggs. We have roosters in with our flock, so I went through and I picked out the prettiest eggs, because we also breed for colour too. That's another thing that you need to make sure when you're selecting eggs is that they don't have any misshapes. You don't want any pointy ones, nothing that's too small, nothing that's too big. You don't want a double yoker. This is the Nurture Right 360 incubator. It's one of the cheaper ones, if not the cheapest on the market, but this thing's bloody brilliant. It's done us, I think this is going to be our third year using it. It works great every year. We've had great hatches with it. Okay, that is on, blimey. And then this is the egg turner. So it has an automatic egg turner in there. 21 days for these guys to hatch, and they need to be at 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm getting ahead of myself. We've still got 21 days here. So I plugged it in there, that was silly. Actually, I'm gonna unplug it all again and start over so I can get these in here. I've been storing these pointy side down so that the air sack in here can kind of float to the top. You want to be hatching as fresh eggs as possible. Obviously you'll get a better hatch rate if you do that. So try and pick the cleanest ones too. That is the egg set. So like I said, they take 21 days. So now we just sit and patiently wait. We do this every year. We hatch the majority of our own chicks. If you want to watch them hatch, make sure you subscribe. Good morning. We're out here. We're about to move the chickens. I appreciate this video jumps around a little bit. This has just been our life for the past couple of days, is doing lots of kind of random different things. So bear with us, but this will be a good move. We're going kind of further. We're going to go all the way and put them in that leafed area over there. And then we're going to move them back behind me so that Ashley can move that compost pile and lay out these beds behind me. And then they can cross the road, because right now that compost pile is blocking our little route that gets them through there. So it's not exactly an ideal move. It's going to take us a second and we have to push the coops all the way around, but it is what it is. We'll get it done. That was a drag of a move, but we did it. We've made this area a little bit smaller than we usually do. They've only got 2 nets, they usually have 3, because we really want them to tear it up in here, and then we can lay the compost down. They'll kill a lot of the grass for us and just make, you know, poop, add nitrogen and do all those good things. So we're going to let them wreak havoc in here. Whatever you do, do not take tips on how to move fences from Ashley and I, because we are masters at tangling them. We've been doing this for long enough. You think we'd have a better system, but we don't. But I just wanted to show you the carrots in here, because the last time I showed you guys, they were pretty tiny. Look at those green lines again. That looks like spring to me. So I thought that after I showed you the carrots that I'd come in here and show you guys how the flats that I sowed just the other day are doing, because they're really coming along. These heat benches are fantastic. I can't speak highly enough of them. They work in brilliant. I mean, look at everything. These are all lettuces, salad mix, that spinach in the back, and then these are all of our brassicas. And look at all of their stuff. Yeah, we'll be planting this out before we know it. We gotta get some ground ready. That is spring. So today turned into a pretty exciting day. We ended up picking up the posts for our new greenhouse that we're going to put. What do you look like?
I can't do it.
Straining. We're going to unload them and start laying them out here. This is a pretty big project, as you can probably imagine. So there's 40 posts. They all need pounding in. I'm going to show you them now. So this greenhouse has already been used once. We got it from our old boss. He retired. We created Wild Mountain Farm, and we've been kind of purchasing a few of his bits. So that the other greenhouse, was his too that we put up last year, and now we're going to put up this one. But they're 6 foot tall. We'll pound them in 2 foot, and then we'll have 4 foot ground. 4 foot wall. The wall height will be 4 foot, and then we'll put the hoops in on that. In a previous video I laid out this tarp behind me, and so that's killing all the sods so that we can lay our beds here. but we're going to lay out all of the posts and then we can start pounding them in to be 100 foot by 20 foot. And I think there's going to be about a 5 foot increment in between the posts. So, that being said, I'm going to stop talking and crack on. That's a job done and another project started, so we're going to be chipping away at that for the next few weeks, but we're going to call it a day for today and we'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching and you have a great day.